Yep. James, before you got here, we were talking about the different softwares that we use. And I think we have all four represented here.
Oh, really?
We have
Nice.
Corrupt on USBs / Rekordbox. We got DSAVES on Virtual DJ, EGOTRONIC on Traktor, and then me kind of as my focus being Serato. So maybe we can just kind of use this time to like talk about what we liked, like what your favorite feature and maybe least favorite feature about the software in comparison to the others. DSAVES, you were mentioning what you liked about Virtual DJ. Why don't you say that again? And we just lost EGOTRONIC, but we'll get him back.
So what I liked most, I can't remember why I started with Virtual DJ for the life of me. I think it was just, I'm pretty sure
it was easy to get.
Yeah, I think I just typed in DJ software and that was the first thing that popped up. And I was like, all right, hey, let's try it, you know? But what I really liked about it, as I was talking with Mike earlier, was the one thing, because I've started playing with, you know, Rekordbox and doing the flash drive and the CDJs and RX2s and stuff. But one thing I've always liked is the BPM transitions. So like I was talking about the extreme BPMs transitions, well, it can go with either, you know, it can go from 1 BPM to 15 to like 40, but all I have to do is press a button on my laptop and both of the songs will immediately start to link BPMs. So I don't have to mess with the BPMs before I play a song. Or
you're on the mic too, and you're trying to be social, and you're moving around a lot. So I think it works for you really well.
Yeah, I do, and it's nice because then I just loop, you know, a start of a song or a beat while it's gradually transitioning, and then you end up starting to hear the other song more as it kind of like switches in that tempo that you're used to for the other song.
That is kind of cool because you would need to obviously use both hands to just do the transition.
Exactly.
So being able to hit that one button and be able to do like a filter or volume or stuff like that, that's really dope. I think I didn't even know that Virtual DJ could do that.
Super underrated, and that's really like I want to get rid of it. I am looking to get another board and get on Serato and then keep my Rekordbox going, but it's that one.
It's probably changed too since we knew what it. We checked it out.
Big time, yeah. They just did a big rebrand. I want to say in 2020, like right at the beginning of the year, if not the end of 2019.
Yeah, from like 2019 to 2020, it was a whole like revamp of it. It looks a lot more like Serato now, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and then they're compatible with everything, which I mean I would say is like the best part about them is, you know, no matter what you use board wise, like Virtual DJ will be compatible. Well, of course not with the Pioneer CDJs. Pioneer's much not on that, but you know everything else.
Basically everything besides the Pioneer stuff. Maybe the SX2 works. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. But like at that point, I would just get Serato though.
Mike, you can go ahead if you want.
Yeah. So for Serato, I just think the design is really dope. The way you're able to get I know Corrupt, you like the library in Serato. I actually use my library on iTunes, but I like that Serato imports iTunes really, really cleanly to their library. And then just the amount of controllers and compatibility, I think is just the big thing for me. And they kind of cater to like the performance style DJ. So I'd say those are like the big ones for Serato. One thing I would love for Serato to get is the countdown timer that Rekordbox has. So, you know, if you put like the cue points in, it'll count down the bars until the next drop or until the next cue point. And man, when I'm playing like my techno or my tech house sets and I, you know, maybe haven't played a song I haven't like really listened to like a lot of the other ones, it's really nice to have that little countdown timer to the next cue point. So like when I'm doing my filtering, my effects, I know exactly what to pull them out. Because sometimes they'll trick you, man. Like especially some of those Fisher tracks, you know, it'll go to where it's supposed to drop in, and then you'll get that one last that, and then the bass will come in. So.
Do you always I know you're a turntable guy. Mm-hmm. Do you typically always use turntables?
Nah, man. I like turntables. I use probably the least amount now, just because like that's only in my practice studio where I use them. But I have the Rain 12s, which are turntable-esque, and I really like those. That's if I have the choice of playing on something, that's what I'll use. Gotcha. So they're turntable-esque, but not, you know, anyone watching on will probably yell at me if I say they're just like turntables. So I was back off. Basile lost power, but I think he's trying to get on to Zoom through his phone. So, Corrupt, tell us about USBs, man. Some of your favorite things and stuff you wish you could change.
I would say, for one, Serato has unbeatable features. Rekordbox is amazing for preparation and organization of music in the library, but I mean, I still think if you can do a USB, the convenience and the versatility of playing anywhere at any point at any time is unbeatable. When I first switched from Serato to USB, the first thing I did was challenge myself to learn how to do an open format set with a USB, which is the biggest challenge of using a USB, because you can play a catered house show or anything like that and stay in the same tempo and stuff. But when you're going all over the place, that's where people struggle. And the secret is having your playlists organized exactly, where every song is, and because you only have 10, 15, 20 seconds to find those tracks. And welcome back, bro. And so and then another thing is your USB collects histories, and it's important that you play on updated CDJ so you can load your settings. So when you are looking for a track, it loads quicker and doesn't have a delay. Otherwise, there is nothing good about using a USB, and you're sitting there waiting for it. It just says loading track. But I'm so used to it now that I wouldn't go back. But I do think that there's if new CDJs come out, there's a lot of different things that they should do to make the USB more durable and make the less errors. There's a lot of USB errors. A lot of different brands of USB still aren't working when certain CDJs.
Sure.
So they can fix that, I think. But yeah.
So to kind of add to that, if I had looked at CDJs before quarantine, I would have never even attempted at all. And being at Dahlia now, I've had to kind of adapt to that nature of using a flash drive and using USB. And like you were saying, open format, I'm typically always open format. So most of my songs, I try to make a list to where I can increase my tempo all the way from 70 to 150 without needing to do a hard cut. So I always try and keep a list of songs that I know can transition all the way through in a line. And I will say, using a USB now, I don't have to lug a bag around. I don't have to have a bunch of stuff with me. I literally keep it in a duffel bag or a fanny pack or my pocket or something. And somebody's like, you want a DJ? I'm like, yep. Pull that out, it's ready to go. I really have been enjoying it. And it's a new kind of technique to use, because it does take immense preparation. Like James, you were saying, you really got to think about what you want before you put it in, because you can't take it out, and put some more stuff on and then put it back in usually when you're playing a set. So
right. Before we get to Basilo's Traktor input, I would also say, if you're going to use a USB, have a backup somewhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't have to be completely up to date, but just have the ability, because you lose them. Sometimes they just get corrupted, no pun intended. They just stop working. And then also, if you are trying to make your way to a USB, and there's a sync button available, it's okay to use sync. Back in the day, I'd give you shit. I don't care anymore. Practice beat matching. Practice beat matching. But when you're actually at a show, if you need to use it, use it. There's one of the CDJs at Fireproof, the pitch doesn't work. So I have to sync to change the BPM every other song.
Oh my god!
But they're fixing it. They're on top of it.
I'm gonna call Petey. Yo,
you need to get that Dahlia one fixed too while we're at it.
Oh, don't even get me started on that one.
Let's calm down. I've been asking for the Dahlia for a long time, bro.
Bro, don't even get me started, man. That CDJ was one of those CDJs was at Sway when I started with the company like 8 years ago. So
Hey,
I was gonna say it was there when I was like driving a car before I could drive a car.
Yeah, dude.
Bro, tell them how long it took to get the new monitor that you guys just got, like the beginning of this year.
For like the
Still
screen
mad
effects?
about that.
We don't need that negativity on this podcast.
Yeah, no,
Go ahead.
we're
Basilio,
funny though.
tell us about Traktor, man.
Oh man, I love Traktor. Me and Mike were talking about it earlier, and like as far as effects go, I think Traktor is probably the best. But I think in the techno community, a lot of people use Traktor, and it's just like our go-to thing. I don't know if you see like a lot of DJs. I mean, a lot of them use CDJs too, but it's like whenever I'm at home, I'll just load up Traktor on my MIDI controller, and then whenever I'm at clubs or playing out, you know, I always bring a flash drive, and I would just do it that way. But my personal preference is definitely Traktor. I just like the layout. It's easy to load, keeps track of all my stuff really, really easy. I think the layout's a lot better than Serato too.
Beat grids are super nice. I know they do a lot better.
They're super nice. Yeah.
Than Serato for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of customization you can do on it.
I don't remember a ton about Traktor, but I remember there was some pretty cool effects that you could do and with certain control. Yeah, and
yeah,
then
the MIDI fighter was a big one that DJ Tech Tools put out, and then you could like button mash different combinations on this little 16-button MIDI controller and get like crazy effects.
60 bucks.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, you remember Raveheart had that corrupt. He showed he brought that to show and tell.
Yeah, that mini controller, and then aren't you able to put like 4 tracks going if you want?
Yeah,
like
you can do 4 tracks at once, and then you can also link it up to Ableton now too.
Oh wow!
Shit, nice.
It's really strong.
So like, if you were like pre-recording a set, would you run it through Ableton then? Like,
no, it has a recording option you can do internally. Nice. I can even hook up my my drum machine into my Traktor really easy too, and it syncs it up.
That's dope. And it uses the grid from Ableton?
Well, if I'm using Traktor and I want that to be mastered, then my drum machine would follow it.
Oh, that's dope. So it's
so you can pick and choose which is the master.
B-Funk said that Serato's built-in effects are kind of ass, but the Rain ones are pretty good. I agree with that.
Yep, 100%. Well, guys, if there's not any more topics you need to cover, I'm going to go over to ask you to promote yourselves. Where can people find you online? And then when this is all done, like, where can we find you in person?
Go ahead, Basilio.
Yeah, I'll go. Right now I'm just doing a mix series called Techno Kills. It's on Mixcloud. I'm on version 8 right now, so I'm about to do the recording for 9, hopefully soon, maybe tomorrow. And also clothes. I make a lot of clothes online on Designed by Humans. I think we can get you guys a link, but a lot of like rave attire, stuff like that. In the Facebook chat, yeah. So yeah, that's basically it. I'm not playing. I might be, yeah.
So what made you decide to go to Mixcloud over SoundCloud? Like, we need to talk about this.
There's no limit on time.
Okay.
So I think SoundCloud limits you to 2 hours, right?
Unless you unless you get the pro or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mixcloud doesn't limit me, so
that's
I have
really
like
nice.
At least
like you should do a
hours,
tutorial on SoundCloud versus Mixcloud. That'd be a good one. I think people.
I think that's more. I don't know if it's a tutorial. I think it's more of like a topic we could cover here. Like I'm thinking in my head as Basilio mentioned. I'm like, damn, we could have talked about that earlier.
Yeah, it's all good.
But yeah, I mean, the short of it is, it's the search function on Mixcloud, while not great, is infinitely better than SoundCloud. And it's a better platform for users. The only problem is it's a much better platform for creators, but the problem is all the users are on SoundCloud. So there's like the best thing for the creators is Mixcloud, but there's no user base. It's all creators. And then SoundCloud, there's a good amount of users, a good amount of consumers, but there's so many creators. And it's hard to find.
There's so much content on there, and it's a lot of like poor quality, and like the ads on it are just crazy. SoundCloud used to be like the go-to, and it was amazing, but I just kind of outgrown it. So
Gotcha.
DSAVES,
DSAVES?
So you can find me at David Savely on Twitter or DSaves614 on Instagram. You can literally hit me up at any time. I will probably answer. I don't have anything else better to do. If you want to find me out DJing, I could be at Julep, Callahan's, BBR, Dahlia, your house party next door. So hopefully on some live streams soon. But yeah, other than that, I don't, just like I said, hit me up. Feel free to connect with me. My DMs are always open.
Ladies.
Yeah, I was not going to say ladies. I was waiting for somebody else.
That's funny. I'm ashamed to say that we have no 614 releases. Not ashamed that the company 614. Oh, wait, Corrupt, please.
No, I got some information, though. The reason I'm wearing this shirt today is we have a 614 event getting planned at Dahlia where we're going to start working with a lot of local clothing, but definitely them. And I want to blow this one up specifically because they have helped promo our podcast, and hopefully we can get all of our former guests out. Mm-hmm. I think that'd be a really good opportunity. So I'll get more information on that next episode, but I'm thinking it's going to be in 2 or 3 weeks.
That is dope, man. That's good news.
Yeah.
I was
See you there.
Yeah, it's going to be sweet.
That we didn't have anything.
And I think they're going all out on their end too. Like they're going to do something really special for ladies and stuff. So a lot of awesome information coming.
Yep. And again, if you released a mixtape or a track this week and you're like, they're not talking about it, DM Corrupt or I, there's a link in the YouTube where you can just go in there and like put the stuff that you're releasing and the date, and will show up on my feed, and we'll talk about it. But I know there's amazing producers and DJs out here releasing awesome mixtapes and tracks. We want to talk about them, guys, so do send them to us because we do not like weeks where we can't promote anything.
Yes.
I think that's it for that. Again, if you are watching on YouTube, like the video, comment with anything that you think we could do better, or people you want to see have the show, questions you want us to ask especially, and then subscribe to the channel for gear reviews, discussions, tutorials, and everything DJing. DJ Corrupt, anything you want to say before we wrap up?
No, man. DSaves, keep it up, man. I know you're young and you're motivated. Just keep it going. And Basilio, I'd love to hear some of your original production whenever you get to recording, man.
Yeah,
got a
sure,
really
man.
dope setup.
Appreciate you.
Actually, we talked about doing a techno versus house party. I think that was on the Push podcast with Max. Yeah. So when we have the techno, the techno room, we definitely got to get EGOTRONIC on there.
100%.
Cool.
Guys, thank you so much for being on here. We love you, and take care. Be safe. Peace.
Appreciate y'all so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Peace.
See y'all soon.